Soul Simmers, welcome back to a brand new video. I am so stoked for today's video because I will be ranking every single plant in the game as of April 2025. This is such a silly video. Someone in my Twitch stream suggested this and I was like, that sounds like a hilarious idea. For anyone who isn't fully aware, my whole branding is based on plants. On Twitch, my community is named the Jungle of Planties. I consider myself a major plant mom with a lot of houseplants and a balcony garden. So why shouldn't I rate all the plants in The Sims? I figured that was a very fun thing to do until I had to take all the screenshots because do you know how many plants we have in this game? I'll do a little pause so you can guess. 260. As of April 2025, we have 260 decorative plants, and this is me not even counting the actual landscaping plants like trees and bushes and stuff like that. This is just decorative plants. So without further ado, because I want to prevent this video from getting too long, let's actually hop into the tier list and let's start ranking. So welcome to my tier list. The tiers that I've made is an every build type of plant. This is the type of plant that I will use in every single build because it's just that good. Then I have pretty good, which are just pretty good plants. Then I have has a use case because there are some plants in this game that are not like bad plants, but they're just very specific for certain use cases like weddings or funerals, and I felt like they deserve their own category. Then I have A for effort, but that's all it is. I saw the effort, but not the results. And then we have one that is just straight up dumpster because what do you mean, why do we have this plant in game? Those are basically the categories that I'm going to go for, and I am going to go through all 260 plants in the game and put them in one of these. So the first one is just a base game plant, and I'm going to put it in A for effort. I don't know why this isn't decorative plants. This is a landscaping plant. I think it's lost. I think it needs to get its ass out of this category. Then I have this one, which I don't think I've ever used. I think it's a table piece. I always think it looks weird. I think we have better options for it. I'm just going to put that straight up in the dumpster. I'm going to put this one in A for effort. I think it has use cases, but not that many that it deserves to go in here. This one is a pretty good plant. I wish it was a bit more narrow because I feel like at this point it is one of those plants that will always clip into a wall. However, if you only have base game, that is in every type of build plant, basically. Then this hanging plant, every type of build, I always use it. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. I love it. This one is one of those that I feel like it has to go in has a use case. It's a nice plant, I like it, but only for like public venues and weddings because otherwise you're never going to use this. This vase is going to go into an every built type of plant because genuinely whenever I need to do a vase on a like living room table or on like a little hallway table, this is one of my favorites to go to. This plant is going to go, I don't even know. I think I have to put that in the dumpster. I'm sorry, what is this monstrosity? It is so clearly a 2014 base game plant and it never got an overhaul. The texture is bad, the vase is ugly. Just in general, who puts a plant like this in a vase? Just a big no. This one, who came up with it? It's way too round. It is, even if you perfectly cut a bush, it will never be this round. And the coloring, yuck. Just, I don't think I've ever used this one. This one, again, has a use case. It's pretty. I don't really know why it's in the plant category and not just in the wall decorations because I don't really see it as a plant. Obviously, it's like a flower curtain, but I guess the flowers have already been picked, so I would probably look for this in wall decoration. I can see the use case, though. This plant is pretty good. I like it. It's not like an all-build plant. I feel like it's a little too specific in terms of the pot that it has. It's very rotan, so that doesn't work for every build, but I do like the plant. It's a pretty solid one. I think this one is also going to go in there. At first, when I originally saw this, I really hated it because I thought I didn't like the pot, but it comes with the Riviera Retreat one, and that is an outdoor pack, and actually for outdoor builds, I can see it work. I think this one also goes in here. I always like it when we get a bit smaller plants. I like it when we get plants that are perfect for decoration, and I do tend to add this one in a lot of builds, but because it is very tropical, I do feel like it's not like an every build type of plant. This one is going to go with his friend in the dumpster because why do we have the same plant twice? And why do they both have a vase? Like, none of it makes sense, and it's, again, one very clearly a 2014 Sims plant. I feel like this one can go in, I don't know, I'm doubting for this one, because I feel like it's in the wrong category again. Like, you know how you have the category where it's like windowsill decoration in the actual build category rather than the buy category? I feel like this one should have been in there. Maybe it also is. I don't know why it also shows up in plants, but let's put it in has a use case because I feel like you're never going to add it indoors, but for outdoors, it's a pretty solid one. I'm going to add this this in every build. I actually don't add it in every build, but I really like this plant. It's a very solid one. Again, it's a bit smaller, and I like that it's not just a plant, but it's like a bit more decorative piece as well, so it has like a double function. The same goes for this one. The as we call in Dutch, a pancake plant is one of my favorite plants in general, and also it's a very realistic one as a houseplant to have because it's actually one of the first houseplants that many people get, and I really like the pot. I think it's super cute. Then this one from Wedding Stories, again, is just going to go and has a use case. Just like this one, I actually like it. It's a pretty one. It's a good addition to the game, but it's just very specific for weddings and funerals and maybe celebratory things like a birthday party or something, but I don't see myself using it outside of that use case ever. I think this one I'm going to put an A for effort. I can see what they were trying to do with it, but I rarely use it because one, the colors on it are a bit too specific for my liking, and I just feel like you can see that it's made for something inside, but then also it is too outside looking, if that makes any sense. So like it doesn't really fit in either, so therefore I think it has to go in A for effort. This combo I think I'm gonna put in no, actually, you know what, I'm gonna put it in pretty good because I do find myself using this in outdoor spaces a lot. It's actually a nice combination of plants, but just like always, I wish we had those plants separate. I ended up downloading CC so I could have the files separate as well. They did this with Jungle Adventure, and I actually really like that you have both the combination and the separate plants. I think, in my opinion, it would always be nicer if they just did the separate ones and then use the spot for the specific combined item for something else, because now I feel like we're just getting duplicates. So, but you know, putting all of that aside, it is a pretty good item. Same goes for this one. I like it, but I wish they were separate because I actually like the bigger plant in this one the most, and I don't really like the small addition on the floor. So I wish they were separate, but other than that, I do find myself using it a lot because it's pretty. This one is just like the other one. Like, why is it in the indoor plants category? Because I think it should be in windowsill decoration, but let's just put it here. It has a use case. I don't hate it. Actually, no, I do hate it. I think the layout is weird. Why is there a random flower poking out? I never use this one. I have to be honest with myself. It has a use case, but I never use it for that. So let's just put it in A for effort. It's not a dumpster one yet. This one is cute. It's a pretty good plant. I like to use it. Again, it does have a very specific style though, so I don't find myself using it all the time, but I like it enough to keep it there. The same goes for these flowers. I feel like, I don't know, at this point, I feel like has a use case and A for effort are sometimes a bit difficult because I feel like this isn't an A for effort one because I do like it, but I don't know if it should go in pretty good, but it's also, this one is too specific, so I'll just put it in pretty good. But those are some just some nice flowers. The only reason I'm not certain is because we have a lot of these items. We have a lot of these like small vases with yellow flowers, and I don't know if we always need those. This one is gonna go in dumpster. You're probably gonna see me put almost every single base game plant from 2014 into the dumpster because they all just look so bad. Like, especially if you have some of the newer packs where the plants just have so much better textures. I don't know. It's just not my vibe. This one is, what is this? I'm sorry. This is just a weird item. I don't understand how a plant would grow like this. I don't understand why it looks like this. I hate it. This one I think is gonna go in A for effort. I could see the vision. It's probably useful for very specific types of build, very specific types of styles. But then again, even for that style, I don't think this is very pretty. I don't like the texture of the leaves, and I don't like the color they used. I've never seen a plant that has this color green IRL. It's too bright, if that makes any sense. I will put these little succulents in pretty good plants, like all of them. I don't know why I have one twice actually, but I'll just put it in here twice. Let's go. Why not? So maybe we only have 259 plants, and I told a lie in the beginning of the video. But I think these have to go here. I like them. They have, you know, I probably won't use them in every single build, but they're pretty cute, and I think they're fun. The same goes for the pumpkins. I, again, feel like that's more decoration than plants, but sure, we'll just put it in here. I actually like these. They have a very specific use case, so maybe I should put them here. Maybe they shouldn't go in pretty good. I think they have to go in has a use case, but I like them to decorate for Halloween or like to do fall themed build and stuff like that. The same goes for this one. It's oddly specific. Again, you will only use this in builds that are like overgrown and stuff like that, but I can see if you play a lot with occult sims that this actually comes in pretty clutch for decoration. Then we have this outdoor plant, and I'm gonna put this in every type, and this might be a little bit controversial, but I personally really like this planter box because I feel like it writes that perfect balance of being an outdoor plant, a little bit more modern, a combination that I have never wanted to have split up, so it's like rightfully so 3 different plants, and I think it's one of those things that fits in more modern, big, luxurious builds, but also in tiny homes and stuff like that, so it just has a lot of use cases where it fits. Same goes for this one. I add this little vase every single time I make a kitchen. I just feel like having 2 little vases with like some little greenery in it is perfect for a kitchen decoration, so I use it all the time. I'm gonna put this one in A for effort. I'm so sorry if you like this plant. I know that actually people do enjoy this one, but I think it looks weird. I think the flowers look too thin. I don't like the arrangement. I'm not a big fan of this item. I am gonna put this one, I think I don't know. This one is a bit of a doubtful one. If it has to go in A for effort or pretty good plant, I might put it in pretty good plant. I don't use it that often, but it's also not like an ugly one, and I think I could use it more often. I just kind of forget about this one. This is one that I'm like, it's just not in my brain. And then when I'm building, I just never think to use it. But actually, it is a pretty solid one. So I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, you shouldn't use this one because it's an A for effort. I think that would be condescending to this one if I put it in A for effort. This one is a pretty good one. I really like to use this one in like more luxurious modern homes or like hallways and stuff. We have another base game plant that can go into the dumpster. I hate this one. It's terrible. I feel like this one is maybe less bad than any of the other ones. I feel like this one is definitely, these two are just the worst, but this one might not be the worst of all. Maybe I should put it in A for effort. I feel like if I had to pick from the base game plants, at least the leaf texture and color looks good on this one, so I might put it there. I think this one should go in A for effort as well. It is just so oddly specific. I feel like this one is even so specific that in use cases for building like a cottagecore build, you don't want to use this every single time because it's so specific, if that makes any sense. So I'll just put it in A for effort. This one is actually really beautiful. I'm gonna put this all the way up and has a use case because I don't think I would ever use it outside of a wedding venue, but this is a gorgeous plant and I love using it for like lush green wedding venues, and I'm always obsessed with that item. This one I'm gonna put in A for effort because I like the idea that they wanted to add more succulents, but I genuinely despise the stand that it's on. This one, again, I feel like has a use case. I don't know why it is in indoor plants because it just is the same as this one or this one or this one. I feel like it is decoration for your outside, which I don't really see why it would show up. I think this one actually does show up in the right category as well, so I don't know why it's also an indoor plant. I feel like these all have the exact same issue. So let me just all put them in here together. They all have a very specific use case. I like them. They're right for the thing that they were meant for, but I don't know why they show up in the indoor plant category. These tiny little plants I'm gonna put in pretty good because let's be real, we all use them. I like them. They're not bad. I think they deserve a little bit more love than some of the other base game plants. And to this day, I still find myself using these as little decoration. This plant is a pretty good one. I really like it. It actually is very similar in my brain to this one, so I should put them next to each other. They're both great outdoor plants. I feel like they exactly serve the purpose that they were made for. Then we have these little tulip flowers. I actually think I should put those in A for effort. I moved them up to pretty good because I do find myself using them if I do base game only builds, but that's because we don't have a lot of other good base game only vases with flowers in it. We do have this one. That's why it's all the way up here. This is also a base game one. So I will always choose this over this. I personally just think that the textures are not that great. This one, this monstrosity has to go into the dumpster because what is this? Why is it so ugly? I cannot deal. And I personally feel the same about this one because in my brain, this is the same plant. Like they both have ugly textures. They both have ugly leaves. They both have ugly colors. And I hate the vase on or like the stand or the pot on both of them. Not great. This one I feel like has a use case. Again, it's very much an outdoor plant. I actually like it. It's pretty good, but I feel like, you know, it doesn't deserve to be in the indoor pretty good category. Even though this one has the same, I could see myself using this one more in like an indoor or maybe like a patio space than this one. I feel like this is giving very like public building, and this one is maybe feeling a little bit more like you could make it at home. This one is gonna go, I don't know. I feel like that one should go in A for effort. It's not a dumpster yet. It's like, again, if I have to use a base game plant, I might revert to that one, but preferably I would avoid it. This one, I feel like I should put in A for effort. I see the vision. I see what they were going for. I can imagine that this would have been really cute for outdoor plants if they had done the design a bit differently, but I always feel like it just something's off. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't like it. This one is also A for effort because, I don't know, not a dumpster yet, but also I never use it because I don't like it. I don't think it's pretty. The same kind of goes for this one. There's like decorative cactus. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't hate it. It's not like a dumpster worthy one, but I just don't like it that much. This one is definitely going to go up into pretty good, and I'm going to put it next to that one because I feel like these two have very similar use cases. And I actually like that we have two different variants of it because then you can kind of mix and match in your house, but still have it in the same style. Then we have this Love Struck bouquet, which I like more than I anticipated, to be honest. I haven't used it that much because Love Struck is just a newer pack, but it is a very simple vase, and I think that's the part that I really like about this is the flowers come in different colors, but the vase is just like a glass vase, which we don't have a lot in the game, so I like that. This one, I think I'm gonna put in pretty good. I don't use it a lot, but it's not a bad plant. I like to use it on decorating like public spaces. This new one, I originally saw this and I thought that I wouldn't like it, but it's a really nice item actually, and I can absolutely see myself using this also in indoor spaces and stuff, specifically in like maybe home offices or something. I really like this item. Then we have these vases with flowers from the Cool Kitchen stuff, and I think I'm gonna put those in A for effort. I remember when I got that pack, I was actually really loving these, but then I realized that we had greater like flowers and vases in other packs, and now I feel like it's not necessarily one of my favorites. This one, sorry, has to go into the dumpster. What is this? There is never a use case where this will look good. Even if you build a maximalist home, it has all the wrong things. Like it doesn't work. I don't like it at all. This one is gonna go in pretty good. I really like this one. It's not an every build type plant simply because I feel like it is very specific, but it is a very beautiful item and I like the swatches on it. Then we have this bigger vase of flowers, which I'm just gonna put next to it because again, it's a clear vase, which I like. It's just a different bouquet. So again, I really like both of these because of its simplicity. Then we have this one from Dine Out, which could have been wonderful, but I don't know why they made this item so big. It's such a big vase if you use it in game that I don't know, it's not my favorite. This hanging plant is an everyday or an every build type plant. I love it. I'm obsessed with this. I think it's super cute. This one again has a use case because why is it in this category? But I do have to admit, I do like this one. It's very simplistic and I like using it for that reason. This one from Horse Ranch surprisingly is an every build type plant. I don't know why, but I find myself using this a lot on like little decorative tables and stuff because I think I really like the swatches on it. I think the colors are very beautiful and very neutral, so you can use it in a lot of different types of builds basically. This one is going to go into the dumpster. I'm sorry, but even for an outdoor plant, you could have done better. This bush looks like it's about to die and I hate it. This one I think I'm gonna put in has a use case. I actually like the planter box a lot, but I do feel like it's oddly specific. You probably wouldn't have this in your garden, but it's nice for decorating parks and public spaces and stuff. Then we have this one that comes from Dine Out as well. I think I'm gonna put that one in pretty good because contrary to this one that is ridiculously large, this one is actually pretty nice and it is a nice like little table decoration, so I do like that. Then we have another base game plant that I think I'm gonna put in pretty good if I have to, because for this one I feel like the vase that they chose actually matches with like the ferns and stuff that is in it, and I think it's a pretty one. If you do a base game build, this is definitely one of my to-go-to ones. Then I have this one from Spa Day. I'm gonna put it in A for effort because for me personally, something that I don't like about this is I don't like the vase is like too wide for how thin the plants in it are. I think this could have been a really elegant one if the vase was a little bit like slimmer basically. I think then I would have loved this one. This one, I'm sorry, but what is this? Why even is this? Just no thank you. Same for this one. Hate it. Hate the leaves, hate the vase, hate everything about this. This one, same story. What am I supposed to do with it? I originally thought for this item, I was like, oh, that could be fun to like put in a corner or something, but it's asymmetrical, so it doesn't fit anywhere. Genuinely hate that item. This one is a specific use case. Again, I feel like it should go next to this one. This is just all like wall plants. They just all have a very specific use case, and for that, they are exactly perfect. These ones are cute. I'm gonna put in pretty good. I like that they're like knitted or crocheted, and then it just looks really cute. It's definitely for a more specific use case. You're not gonna use this in every single house, but it is like a nice tiny item for on the wall as well. Then I have this one from Horse Ranch, which I also surprisingly use more than I anticipated. Not as much as this one, but I definitely think it's a pretty good item and I like it a lot more than I thought, because I feel like that sort of milk, I don't know, tin with the like leaves and stuff in it, it does really fit like, I don't know, those interior magazines and stuff. Like it's a style. It's definitely giving Pinterest for some reason. Then I have this one, which I actually use. I think I should put this in all of my builds. I use this on balconies and stuff very often. It's a very simple tree. It has a very simple pot. It's very versatile. Then we have this one, which remember when I said that I feel like we have a lot of yellow things in vases? I feel like that's why I was doubting for this one. You know what? I think I'm going to move this one down. I'm sorry, this one has to go into A for effort because actually the flowers are uglier than the base game one. Let's be real, if you have a base game version of this, which has a simpler pot and better flowers, why on earth would you ever use this one? It just doesn't make any sense. Then I have this one, which I think I'm going to put in has a use case. I like it. It's not an ugly item, but I do think it's very specific and you're definitely gonna use it in every single build. This one I'm gonna have to place in here. I'm gonna put it next to this one. It comes from the same pack and I have the same issue with it. I just feel like it's too bright, it's too colorful, and I know this is definitely personal preference. I am a builder that doesn't necessarily go for like maximalist, very colorful builds, but even if I do, because sometimes I push myself out of my comfort zone, these are never items that I end up using. This one is an A for effort. I can see what they were going for, but I don't really like the execution. This one's gonna go in has a use case just like the other wall decorations. This one I think I'm gonna put in the dumpster because I just think it's ugly. I don't like the color combinations that they picked at all, and I think the vase looks cheap, and I know that's probably what it's meant to be with eco living being the pack, but I'm just not a big fan. I like this one. I like the cow plant with all the gems. Again, it is very specific style, but I do think I like it, and I think the item is very well made. The textures look good and everything. This one's also gonna go into has a very specific use case for all the reasons that I've explained prior. This one is A for effort. I can see what they were trying to do. I don't hate it as much as some of the things that are in the dumpster, and there are builds where I do use it. It is a base game one that fits very nicely in modern builds, but I'm not the biggest fan. Then we have this one, which I think I'm gonna put, I'll have to put this in pretty good. I think for this one, the thumbnail is just very inconvenient because I don't necessarily like this swatch, but I think this item has a lot of swatches that I do like and that I do end up using. I think this is my general complaint to The Sims, not just for plants. Why do you pick such ridiculous swatches as the first picture? Personally, for me, the biggest issue is with rugs, because some rugs have very different patterns, but I just ignore them. Like, my brain filters them out because the default thumbnail of the item in game looks ugly. So my brain's just like, yeah, we're not using that, even though some of the other swatches are very pretty. Then I think this one is going to go in has a use case just like this one. It's a very specific separator, so you're not going to use it in every single build. But if you are looking for something like that, this is a pretty good one. This cow plant obviously has to go in pretty good. Maybe I should put this one in every pet because I tend to use this item a lot. It's perfect decoration for your Sims. I would say it's more decoration than plants, to be honest, but I feel like that's exactly why I end up using it so much, because I don't want to put my house full of plants always, but I like the idea of having more decoration for my Sims. This item is gonna go into the dumpster. I'm so sorry. I actually love the leaves. That's why I was doubting, because no, it has to go in A for effort. Sorry, I hate the vase and I hate how wide it is. Like, it is so incredibly difficult to use, and that's why I'm so sad about it, because I love the texture and the leaves and stuff. Then we have this one. It's a straight up dumpster. This one is a straight up dumpster. Like, what are these? These are both so ugly and such bad textures. Then we have this single rose, which I'm gonna have to put in pretty good. It's not an all build type plant, but I do really like it. It's very simple. I think this one is gonna go into has a use case because, well, for obvious reasons, it has a use case. If you're celebrating Winterfest, it's great. This one is gonna go into the dumpster. I'm sorry, I hate it. I don't think it looks good. It looks very cheap. This one I think I'm gonna put an A for effort because I hate the grass, but I really like the planter box, so sometimes I still use it in public places. I'm gonna put this specific Christmas tree in A for effort because if you have this one, I don't see a need for this one. This is very ugly decorated in my personal opinion. You can also decorate this one in game, so there's actually gameplay tied to it, so I don't see why we needed another Christmas tree. I'm gonna put this one in pretty good, I think. I like it, it's cute. I definitely do not use it in every single build, but I think it's a pretty cute item. This plant, I think I'm gonna put in pretty good. I originally hated this one, but it's starting to grow on me. I've started to like it more because it's a very easy one to use because it's a bit like taller and thinner, basically. Then I have this one, which is just gonna go straight up into the dumpster. I don't like this item at all. I think I would have liked it if it was completely square, because then you could have used it almost as a half wall with plants on top of it. But because of this weird shape, there's just never a use case where I feel comfortable actually using this item. These hanging plants definitely go in pretty good. I like them a lot. I think the wood swatches aren't super pretty, so I do end up using only 2 out of, I don't know, the 6 or 8 swatches on this one, but it's a solid item. I'm not mad about it. This one, I'm gonna put an A for effort. I see what they were trying to do, but I don't think the results are really there, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone use this in their build. This one I'm gonna actually put in pretty good good, which comes as a surprise to me because when I originally saw the item, I didn't like it at all. But I like to use this in my greenhouses, and I like to use this in my gardens, and I like to use this on my balconies if I want to give them a bit of a greener look. So I end up using it a lot more than I anticipated. This one is going to go into the dumpster because it's a very clear 2014 texture, and I don't know, we have way better vases with flowers, so why would you use this? This cute little plant is one of the very, very unfortunate ones with the where the default thumbnail looks pretty bad, but it's actually a really cute plant. It's tiny, it's small, it's easy to use, and I love using it for decoration. Then we have these plants on the wall, which I'm gonna put an A for effort. I don't know what they were thinking with this. The thing is, I know what they were thinking, and I would have liked it, but the water in this is so blue that it looks ridiculous in every single build because it just doesn't look real, if that makes any sense. This one is gonna go into everyday though, because let's be real, this is perfect for your kitchens as like a little spice rack where you're like growing your fresh herbs and spices and stuff. I think that's super, super cute. This one is gonna go an A for effort. I don't like it that much. I do end up using it more often than I anticipated, I think, but that's just because sometimes I want to have these two in a small version, and then this is all we have, but I'm not the biggest fan of this item. I don't really like the colors. This little small pot is actually cute. I'm gonna put it in pretty good. Don't use it always, but it is a very cute one if you wanna like tell a story about a sim that's just starting to grow their plants. This one is an everyday for me because they're like an every built plant for me, because I always put this in my toilets because it's such a skinny plant, and then I size it down and then it always fits perfectly in that awkward space next to a toilet. And I jokingly started calling this my toilet plant, so I have to put it in every build type of plant because I actually add it in every single one of my builds. We have yet another vase with flowers, but this one is going to go in pretty good as well. Both base game ones are actually pretty solid. I just feel like we have too much similar items here, in my opinion. Then I have this one, which I feel like I have to put in has a specific use case because I don't hate it, but it's very specific. It's like a windowsill decoration, but only for houses that are like run down, and it also looks improvised, which is great for storytelling, but I just don't think it's one that you'll use very often. Then we have the next one, which I'm gonna put in pretty good. I actually like that this looks very improvised. Like I like that it looks like someone is using things that are not supposed to be a plant pot as a plant pot, and I do find myself using this a lot in outdoor spaces. Then we have these cutesy little plants, which I'm just gonna put next to the other singular cutesy little plant. I definitely use it. It's pretty good. I like it. It's a solid item to have. Then we have this wall plant that came with the new expansion pack, and I think this is very quickly going to become an every type of build plant because I really, really, really like this one. I think it's super cute, and I just in general like plants that are hanging and are like a bit more lush. I almost feel like I have to add these together because these for me all fall into the same category of hanging plants that I just tend to use because they're really nice to decorate with. Then we have this small plant. It's a base game one, but it's definitely going to go into an every build type of plant because it's just a very easy decorative item, and it's versatile enough, simple enough that you'll just use it everywhere. I think this one from Paranormal is going to go in pretty good. It's not an every build type of plant, but I do really like it. It's pretty. Then we have this, which again is supposed to be like a little table piece or something. I hate it. I never use it. I think it looks weird. This new one from Businesses and Hobbies is definitely already an every build type of plant. I love how skinny it is. It fits into corners so well. It is super versatile. It's very pretty, and I feel like it's a very realistic plant for like a lot of people to have. This other small base game plant is also going to go into everyday because I really like it. Again, it's very versatile, simple. I feel like there is a theme going on with the every build type of plant because it's all very versatile. They're all not very big. They are mostly like tall and skinny, or they're hanging. I feel like the only exception to this is at this point is this one, and that's just a personal preference because I really like the tiny cow plant. Then I have this one, which actually kind of goes against what I've just said because it's tiny, it's versatile, it's small, but I just think it's ugly, and I think I'm gonna put it in the dumpster. Then we have this one from Get Together, which I think I'm gonna put in pretty good. I don't hate it. Not my favorite for sure, but it has use cases in like public spaces or more modern builds and stuff where I do find myself using it. Then I have this one, which is a wall plant, but I'm gonna put it in A for effort because I see what they were going for, but I don't necessarily like it. Then we have this one, and I feel obliged to put it over here, but it annoys me every single time that I see this. Why do we have three items that are so incredibly similar? With this one, at least I can see the bracket is more modern, but these two in my brain are just the same plant. Then we have these wreaths, I never know how to say this word. I'm going to put them in has a use case because let's be real, they are very specific and you probably won't use them in every single build. I do like this item from Seasons. I'm going to put it in pretty good. I like how simple it is. I feel like this is exactly doing what I was hoping for the one from Spa Day, where I feel like the balance between the bottom of the item and the top of the item actually feel correct. This one I'm going to put an A for effort because here it's almost the other way around, where I feel like the tree always looks too big for the pot and I always feel like it looks like it's gonna tip over. This one is pretty good. It's a very simple one, but that makes it pretty versatile. I just feel like you're never going to put this inside, so it's an outside only. This one I also really like. I like to make like fake gardens for my Sims, even if they're not doing some actual gardening. I still like the idea of them having some plants growing on a balcony. This one is a tiered plant, but I think it's genuinely ugly. I never use it. We have way better options, and I definitely prefer making my custom own tiered plants rather than using something like this. This little vase with the 2 flowers is actually really cute, so I'm going to put it in pretty good. Then I have this plant wall, which I can see what they were trying to go for, but I actually hate it and I never use it, so that's definitely going to go in A for effort. Then this one is like, these are the 3 separated plants from Jungle Adventure, and there is actually one of these that I really like, so it's going to go in pretty good. I almost feel like this should go into an every build type of plant because I love this little olive tree, but then I have the other 2 and I genuinely do not like those, so I'm going to put those in A for effort. If I had to pick, maybe I would move this to pretty good plant because that one I can see myself using, but this one I just absolutely hate. I really do not like it, and therefore I almost feel like I should immediately find the combined version of this, which also I don't understand why those are not like closer together. And this is exactly like what it feels like when you're playing The Sims, when you know an item exists, but you cannot find it for the life of you. I know we have it somewhere. There we go, I found it. So let's just move this up really quickly because this is the combined version, and I'm gonna put it in A for effort because it includes this one and I don't like it. And also, if you already have all of them separate, you know what? This is just gonna go into dumpster. We already have all of these items separately. Why do I need it as a I can just combine them together myself. I don't need it. It's just unnecessary space for an item. Then we have this one with the flowers and the lemons. I originally hated this item, but then I actually started using it a couple of times and I kind of fell in love with it. I kind of like this one. I think it's cute. It definitely has a specific use case. You're not going to use it in every home, but I like what it looks like. Then we have the bathtub, which I'm going to put in has a specific use case because I actually do think that this is a great item, but it's not going to be for your everyday build. Then we have the base game little like Chinese New Year tree or good luck tree. I'm going to put that in has a use case. I feel like it's a pretty good item, but because it's so specific, you're not going to use it everywhere. We have this planter box, which I will put in pretty good. I don't hate it. It's just very simple, straightforward. It does what it needs to do, but it's not my favorite. Then we have these little tiny hanging plants on the wall. I remember when the pack came out, I would use this all the time because it was one of the first times we had something like this. But I'm going to put it with the nifty knitting one because I feel like they serve a very similar use case and I use them in similar builds, but they're definitely not my favorite. Then we have this one from Snowy Escape, which I actually like. I think I'm going to put this in pretty good. It's a cute decorative item for sure. This one is going to go in A for effort. It's a base game one, so for obvious reasons, it's just not, I don't really like what it looks like, but it's also not so bad that it has to go into the dumpster. This is another hanging plant, so what a surprise. I am putting this all the way into an every build type of plant, but I just really, really like hanging plants. Then we have this one, which is going to go in, just with all the other ones, is going to go in, has a very specific use case. This vase of flowers is going to go into the dumpster. I hate it. I think it's very ugly. I think also a lot of the things that I'm putting in a dumpster is also, it has a very specific style, which I just do not like. I don't like the style of these items. Then my baby, I use this one in every single one of my builds. It is by far one of my favorite plants in the game, if not my favorite plant in the game. I love everything about this plant. So yeah, that was my little ode to this plant. It deserves all the praise. Then I have this one is just going to straight up in the dumpster together. Well, actually this one could go in A for effort because I have used this a couple of times. The first swatch is terrible. It is actually, it has some nice swatches. It's good for like building schools, which is also what it is intended for, but building schools or building like public buildings like a shopping mall or something, but not my favorite. This one is just straight up ugly. I don't know why they made that. This one from Horse Ranch is going to go in pretty good because I like it. I feel like it is very similar to all the other items like this one that I've already have in this category. It's just cute and I like to use it from time to time. This vase I hate. I don't like it at all. I think the textures look very low quality. This one as well comes from the same pack. Like, what are we thinking? Why are we continuing this trend of, I don't know, plastic grass, because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like plastic grass and I hate it. This one is a very specific use case one. It's just for funerals, maybe for like memorials or celebrations. But other than that, I don't see myself using this. This little plant, I already did. Why is it in here twice? I don't know if that's my mistake or if it's actually in the build catalog twice, because there is so much space in between these that I almost cannot imagine myself accidentally doing that twice, because I took screenshots from top to bottom. So this might actually be in the build catalog twice as a base game plant. That's confusing. This item from the new Life and Death pack, to be honest, I'm gonna put an A for effort. I see what they were trying to do, but I think it's ugly. I don't like it at all. This vase is gonna go into every build type of plant. It's so pretty. I love it. It's amazing. I feel like it should go next to this one because for me, it serves the same purpose, to be honest. And also this one should go next to this one. I feel like I want to sort these plants into like use cases or why I'm putting them in this category. But honestly, this is kind of how my brain works when I'm sorting through plants. Then we have this one, another hanging plant. And you might have guessed it, that's an every build type of plant. It's different to the other ones though, because this sits on a little shelf. Then we have this flower. I hate it. It's gonna go straight into the dumpster. This plant pot is an every build type of plant. I really like it. It has a couple of really great swatches and it's just a small plant, which is just great for rooms that are a bit smaller. This one is gonna go into a pretty good. I like it, but it is a pretty big item, so you cannot use it in every single build. This plant is gonna go into every build type of plant. This has everything for me as well. I just like this one. I love using this one. It's just perfect. It always fits. This vase is pretty beautiful, so I'll put it in pretty good. I like that one. This I'm not a fan of. It should maybe not in a dumpster, but let's put it in A for effort. This plant is a base game plant that I love. It's very versatile and it doesn't look ugly. It has all the right textures and structures and everything. It's just a good plant, you know? This one from Spade, I feel like I'm gonna put in has a use case because I really like the item, but it is very specific. This plant goes straight up into the dumpster. The textures are hella ugly and I hate it. This one is A for effort. I can see what they were trying to do here, but it's definitely not my favorite. This one is a dumpster. I'm sorry. I hate it. This one is an A for effort. I like the concept, but I hate that it's a combined item. This tiny little plant from not Jungle Adventure, Snowy Escape is definitely in every build type of plant. I really love what it looks like. This one I actually love so much that I bought it for myself in my room. It's in the back on my shelving. I actually bought this item because I like it so much in The Sims. Then we have this vase for weddings, but I don't even feel like I should put this in the has a use case because I absolutely hate it. It's gonna go straight into the dumpster. This one I think can go over here with the other ones. I don't hate it. It's fine. This one I'm actually gonna put in, I can see the effort because again, I actually really like this windowsill item, but the grass, why do we continue the dead looking grass or the plastic looking grass? Do not like it at all. This plant is one of my babies as well. Definitely gonna go all the way up here. I adore that plant. This is some sort of table decoration again. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, so we'll just put it in dumpster. This vase is actually really nice. I wish that the item earlier that I placed, this one, the one that's ridiculously big, they actually have a small version and that one I love. So yeah, you do have an option for it. This one is also gonna go into has a very specific use case because again, it's very much for decorating the outside of your build. These three little plants are absolutely gonna go into every build type of plant. I really like them. They're so cute, so simple, and I love a good set of succulents. And with these ones, I actually have no problem that they always come in 3. I really do not mind this. And this item is actually really cute. I think I'm gonna put it in pretty good. I like to use it outdoors. I think it's adorable. It has the right size and great textures. This plant is just gonna go into every type build plant because 1, it is just a really good plant, but 2, the nostalgia that comes with it is just a 10 out of 10. This plant, also my baby, has to go all the way up here. Love to use this one. I feel like these two together are my golden to go to plant combo, and I feel like this plant just entered the competition, but is already all the way up there. Then I have this Love Struck plant, which I can see the effort, but I don't really like it. I don't hate it, but I don't like it that much. This one is a pretty good one. I don't hate it, don't love it. It's like just a solid plant. This cactus, straight up to the dumpster. It's ugly AF. This one I can see what they were trying to do, and I actually don't hate it, so I'll put it in pretty good. Then I have another table piece, which for me just goes straight up into the dumpster. I remember when I got Get Famous, this plant used to be one of my favorites because I really liked how lush it looked at the top. I feel like at this point point, it's not bad, but we have better options for it, but I'll just put it in a pretty good plant, I think. Then I have this, which is a combination, and also a combination I don't like, so I'm just gonna put it in the dumpster. This one from Werewolves, I'm gonna put in A for effort. I'm not the biggest fan of what it looks like. I don't like the colors on the plant, but I can see why they went for this item. This one from Lovestruck, I'm also gonna put in A for effort because it is actually one that I don't like that it's combined, because I like the plant in the back, but I don't like the little plant in the front. This vase with roses, I am also gonna put in pretty good, and I almost feel like I have to put it with the other vases that we have, simply because, again, I like the fact that the vase is simple and that the flowers differ. I think that's just a good call that they made. This one from the Cozy Gamer Kit, I think I'm gonna put in pretty good. I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily like the designs on the pot, but I do like that we have another small decorative plant. This one is just a base game planter box for the outside of your house, so it can go in that same line of has a very specific use case. This plant, I think, is A for effort. If you only have the base game, it's pretty solid, but if you have more packs, then this is probably not a to-go-to plant. This one is a straight up dumpster. I don't know, I hate it, I despise it, it looks ugly. This one is, I'm gonna put an A for effort. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's a good plant. I don't use it ever, so I think I would be lying if I say it's a good plant. This one from Batu, I'm gonna put an A for effort. I have used it, but it's not my favorite. The same goes for this one, actually, and this one as well. I'm not mad about these items. They fit with the aesthetic of the pack. There's actually items in this pack that I do really like to use, and I have used these plants before, so they are nice if you are like a very heavy builder and you find yourself doing more creative projects. But if you're more an everyday builder, you're probably not going to use this as much. This little like watering can with flowers in it, it's very base game 2014 texture, so I don't like it that much. This one has a very specific use case. It's very much outdoor planter box. I don't hate it. I like it, but I probably won't use it in my everyday build. Same goes for this, but I do actually like this item. I do think it's well made. This one is going to go straight up into the dumpster because the textures are horrible. This one, I think I'm going to put in A for effort. It's not my favorite, but I guess some people might like this one. This one is actually pretty cute, the one with the oranges and lemons, like a little tree, so I'm gonna put that in pretty good. Then we have this plant, which again, I feel like the default swatch isn't the best, but I actually really like this, and because it's such a small decorative plant, I'm gonna put it in here. I think it kind of qualifies like this. Like, these are all small plants that I just tend to use because they're all very versatile, so I'll find myself using them quite a lot in decorating my builds, if that makes any sense. Then I have this one, Separation, which I feel like I also have in a smaller version, and let's just put it next to each other because they have the exact same use case. This vase is pretty good. I like it. It's one of those that if you like doing maximalist, more colorful builds, you'll probably like to use this item because it has good swatches, and it's also everything, like the proportions and the textures are just right and well made. This one, the Separation, I actually like a lot, so even though it has a very specific use case, I'm still gonna put it in pretty good because I find myself using this all the time, even to just put it straight up against a wall as decoration. Then this plant I think I'm gonna put it in pretty good because it's really large. It's difficult to use this item properly, but I do like the texture on it, and I do like this type of plant, so I wish it was a bit smaller or more narrow. Then I think it would have been an every build type of plant for me. This one I'm just gonna put straight up in the dumpster. I hate it. I hate the whole composition of flowers and everything. It's just, I think it looks awkward always. This one is A for effort. It's definitely a base game one. You can see that it definitely has older textures, but it's not bad. It's like it's fine, I guess. This one, I see what they were trying, but I don't like the execution, so that's gonna go into A for effort. This plant, I know you either love it or you hate it. I personally do use it quite often, so I think I'm gonna put it in pretty good. Then I have this one that I think is also pretty good. I don't think it's an every build plant for me because I think the leaves look a little bit, I don't know, it's not a very lush plant, if that makes any sense, but it is still nice to use. I do like that plant. It's a good item. This small plant I like as well, but it's not as well loved as some of the other ones that I put up here, so I tend to use it from time to time, but not as often. This plant I love. It is huge and super difficult to use, but it's just stunning, and I really like the big leaves on it, so I'll put it in pretty good. This one, I'm gonna put an A for effort. When the pack came out, I used this a ton, but I'm actually not the biggest fan of the item. It looks like a sprouted onion, and ever since I saw that, I cannot unsee it. This item, the texture is terrible. I'm just gonna put it in dumpster straight away. This one for me is a weird one. I guess I'm gonna put it in a very specific use case, but I don't think I have ever used it. This is just like the other one. It's huge, but I love this plant. It is beautiful. It is stunning. I love to use it. This is one of those items where I'm always sad that if you size it down, it gives shadow glitches, because if you could properly size it down, I would probably use this in every single one of my builds. Then I have this another watering can with flowers in it that I don't like, so let's just put that in the dumpster. I actually like this more. This one is just terrible. I don't like it at all. This is actually a little plant with books next to it, so I don't really see this as a plant, but I'll put it in pretty good because I like it. I think the item itself is really cute clutter. This vase I've never understood. I'm just gonna put it in the dumpster. This plant is also really big and difficult to use, but it is very beautiful, so I'll just put it next to those because I actually really enjoy using it. Then we have this vase, which I would say is pretty good. It's very specific decoratively, but I like how slim the vase is. It looks very elegant, so I like using it for sure. This new plant that came with Love Struck, I'll put in pretty good. I'm not the biggest, like, I think in pretty good, it is towards like the lower end of the tier, I think, but it's not a bad plant. I like using it outdoors. This one is A for effort because I think it is a nice base game one, but if you have other packs on the base game, you're probably not going to use it that often. This plant for me, and I know some people really hate this one, but for me, it's an every build type of plant because again, it's skinny and it has big leaves, so I just really love it. Then this one, I feel like I'm gonna have to put next to the seasons one, because I just personally think that these fit together very well. Like, I really like having this on my balcony and just pretending that my Sims are into gardening, even though I don't really do any gardening. This one is gonna go straight up into the dumpster. Like, what even is this? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't think it looks good. I hate it. This one I'm gonna put in has a specific use case. I don't hate it that much, but it is very stylized, so I don't think you're gonna use it very often. This item I think I'm gonna put in A for effort. I see what they were trying to do, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the execution. This is definitely going into dumpster because what is this monstrosity? Same goes for this one. This one is gonna go sit next to that one. I feel like these are the same category. It has a very specific use case, but I do think it's pretty. I have this item again twice as well. I think I made some mistakes with the screenshots. That could also potentially mean that I have accidentally skipped plants. So if you are missing a plant, let me know in the comments and I'll tell you where it belongs, you know? But this one personally for me goes into the dumpster twice. That's how much I hate it. I really don't like this item. I think the pot looks too big and the leaves looks too flimsy and it's just not good. This one I'm gonna put in dumpster. I really don't like it. I just really don't like what this item looks like. Again, I have double items. I genuinely don't remember how this happened because I'm pretty sure I didn't take double screenshots, but it's okay. We're just winging it here, but I actually like this one and I'm gonna put it in as a specific use case because it's a very nice tree for public like gardens or I don't know, parks and stuff like that. This item I always thought I hated, but that's because in my brain this item was really big. It's actually a really small decorative vase, and for that reason I'm gonna put it in pretty good because it's kind of cute. It is kind of cute. I like this one as well, but again, it has a very specific use case because you probably won't use this outside of a public space. This vase is gonna go into dumpster. I hate it. This vase can go into pretty good for me because I can see the use case of it, and it's actually one of the base game plants where I don't mind the texture because I feel like the texture fits with the type of plant, if that makes any sense. Then this one I'm gonna put in pretty good. I originally really hated this item because of how big it is, but then I kind of just learned how to use it properly in builds, and now I do like it. I like it as separations in my garden specifically. Then we have this one, which I think I'm gonna put in A for effort because this is just, I don't know. I would have loved if we had more small plants in this pack rather than this because I never use it. This one is actually really nice. I like the bamboo in the game, and I like that we have a skinny one, and then I'll just immediately grab the broader one as well and put it next to it because I do end up using these items quite often, specifically in gym spaces. Then we have this one, which is actually one that I do really like. It's a little garden plant, and I think that's pretty cute. This one I feel like I have to put in has a very specific use case because just like the other two here, it is so incredibly stylized, but I do like it. It's not a bad item. This one I do think is a bad item. I really do not like the design. I feel like with this one, I'm gonna have to put it in A for effort because I see what they were aiming for, but you can just see that the texture isn't that good. If I had to pick one of these, I would probably put this one in good plant because it is versatile enough that I'll use it. And then we have actually reached our last plant, which is good because I've been yapping for a long time. This is a lot of plants. And I think I'll put this one in the dumpster because I really, really, really dislike what it looks like. And I think that is my complete tier list of all the, well, let's say 250 55 plants in The Sims, I think there is definitely a trend going on here where more versatile, small, like not super lush and big plants are just plants that you'll probably end up using more because they're more versatile. But I think if you look at this tier list, it could help you potentially decide which of the packs that you might like. If you are someone that also enjoys buying packs for specific build items, feel free to take like a little look on which packs show up a lot in like the higher ranks. I think if I look at the lower ranks for me personally, there is actually quite some older packs and like base game and stuff, but I do notice that some of the newer packs like Growing Together and Love Struck and stuff also do come with some plants that I'm just really not enthusiastic about. So I'm curious to hear if you had to pick one favorite plant. Please let me know in the comments down below what your all-time favorite plant in The Sims is, and maybe also what your all-time favorite plant IRL is. If you made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you so much for sitting through all my rambling about plants in The Sims. You clearly liked the video, so if you would like to toss it a cheeky like, I would very much appreciate that. If this is the first time that you ever see a video of me, feel free to check out my channel. I make videos about anything and everything The Sims. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone!